for young lawyers starting out in the profession of litigation, or maybe you've spent maybe 6 months or a year or two in the profession, I would like to share something that was shared with me by my senior, who had a very specific set of skill that he required from me, which was to be able to go through files very, very quickly, several of them, because as a person who had 30 to 40 matters every single day, and expect me, and then the senior would expect me to kind of take care of a small chunk of that workload. I was from time to time expected to read an entire file and be expected to argue a matter before a district court judge or a high court judge within maybe 5 minutes of preparation. So today I share with you how to read a case file within 5 minutes. What you do is, first and foremost, when you open the file, and we can only imagine the kind of scenarios where you are expected to read a file in just 5 minutes and make your submissions before the court. Maybe your senior has sent you at the last minute. Maybe a colleague comes to you and asks for maybe just a passover, for you to take just a passover from the court. But even then, you need to know the crux of the details. You need to know who you represent. You need to know what the case is about, and several other small nuances which we'll discuss further in this video. So first and foremost, what you do is you look at the petition, the plaint, the appeal, whatever that file is. You go to the main thing which was filed before the court. First and foremost, you go to the prayer clause. You go to the prayer clause, you see what is the relief being sought. Who is it being sought by you or by the other side? Once you figure out where what the prayer clause says, you then move on to the main petition, and you look at the first 2 or 3 paragraphs, and hopefully the counsel who has done the drafting has summarized the entire situation within 2 or 3 paragraphs. And if he has not, it's a bad job, but if they have not, then you have to kind of skim through the whole document. However, even more important than that, because you cannot spend much time on the facts, even more important is what transpired on the prior dates in that very case file. So you spend maybe 30 seconds or so reading about the facts, and then you move on to the order sheets. Having to read at least the past 10 order sheets is an absolute must. If you don't do that, there is a far greater chance of you getting reprimanded by the judge than even if you don't know the facts of the case. At the very least, when you appear before a judge, even if you're seeking a passover, you're supposed to know what happened on the past occasion before the court, and maybe the past 2 or 3 occasions before that. So you quickly skim through the past order sheets. Then you go, and if you still have time, then you go through the relevant sections under which the relief is being sought, or where you are trying to prevent the relief from being granted by the court. You go through the sections so that you are at least aware of what is the statutory law, the aegis of which, under which you are trying to, make your submissions. After that, you move on to the case laws. Hopefully, the counsel who has done the drafting has also mentioned in the petition, the plaint, the appeal, or whatever it is, or some kind of written submissions, there will be mention of 1 or 2 judgments. Now, when you go through judgments, if the entire judgment is not, the relevant portion is not highlighted, you do not waste your time going through anywhere between 10 to 50 or maybe even 500 pages of a judgment. Instead, what you do is you look up that judgment online, you go through the judgments which have mentioned that judgment. Look up how you do that. You go to a website like Indian Qanun, and you find the judgment that has been mentioned by your counsel. You then go to the cited by section, and then you click on that. You will have a list of all the cases which have mentioned that judgment. You click on 2 or 3 of them. You look at the proposition of law which has been laid down by the judgment that is being relied upon by the drafting lawyer, and in that cited by judgment, you'll be, when you control F and you search the name of the judgment, you'll be able to quickly figure out what, in maybe 2 or 3 or 5 lines, you'll be able to figure out what exactly was said in that judgment. That saves a lot of time. So This is the completion of the 5 minutes of how you read a file. Let's recap it again. First and foremost, you open the prayer clause. You see what the case is all about. Then you look at the facts in a very, very short amount of time. You look at who did what to whom. You then move on to the prior order sheets. You read at least 5 to 10 of the prior order sheets. Then you go to the sections which are applicable, the statutory provisions which are applicable. After that, you go to the law and even the judgments, the precedent. And even there, you do not spend a lot of time reading the judgment, but you read up on what has been said about this particular judgment in other judgments. Now, of course, I am not advocating that every single time you go before a judge, you spend only 5 minutes reading the matter. But this is a little trick that I used when I thought that this might be of some benefit to anyone who is watching this. Because a lot of times I've seen juniors feeling completely helpless when they appear before a judge, and they do not know exactly what they need to look at. They do not know exactly what to do if they've just been handed over a file. A lot of times what happens is when you're an extremely junior counsel, the senior hands you the file barely 5 or 10 minutes before the matter is about to start, and you have to rush. In that period, you have to rush down to the courtroom. You have to open the file. You have to struggle through all the crowd of the lawyers and maybe the parties and everything else, and then you appear before the judge. You barely have 2 to 10 minutes to prepare the file, and it might feel very overwhelming. I know it felt overwhelming for me for a long amount of time, but eventually you practice this a couple of times and you'll get the hang of it. In fact, even when interns and associates come to me and I have to kind of get them acquainted with the files, with the court processes, and loosen them up so that they can confidently make arguments before a court of law, this is exactly a practical exercise that I run with them so that they are able to keep their calm, keep their nerves about them. Having said that, if you have the time, spend all of it preparing the file. I remember this one senior advocate, I believe, in some interview said that as a good average, on an average, for every 1 minute of submission that you are making before a judge, you should have prepared the file for an hour. So if you want to address arguments for 5 minutes, you better well have, at the bare minimum, you better have read the file for at least 5 hours. However, there are some days where, this is not possible. I remember this one time that I did not have any juniors of my own. I had a colleague who was sitting in a courtroom, and I handed the colleague the file, and I said, "Can you just please take care of this? I've got another matter in another court." And it was such an embarrassing moment for the colleague. Still, the colleague pulled through doing something of this sort, and this is something that hopefully some law student or some young lawyer who's watching this can get something out of